Welcome back to the Coven, My Uniqas! Today, we have another episode of Uniqa of the Week, a series where I highlight different types of Uniqas, whether they be neurodivergent, alternative, or both. Today, we are talking about the ITGIRL ALIYAH Interlude!
ITGIRL. You know I am that girl. Shh, bitch, don't kiss and tell. It girl from ATL.
ALIYAH Interlude, or ALIYAH was born on the 10th of May in 2003 in Atlanta, Georgia. Fun fact, her mother actually named her after a prolific singer named ALIYAH, whose life was unfortunately cut short. Coincidentally, it was also the same day that ALIYAH's mother was pregnant with her. In her formative years, she remembers being ruthlessly bullied due to her not following the stereotypes expected of her as a black girl, due to her fashion taste. However, she did not allow that to stop her. In a Lady Gun interview, she described her fashion as the armor she puts on to face the ridicule she faced in high school. She later became active on TikTok in 2022, going under the username ALIYAH Interlude, which she first adopted in the 9th grade. She specialized in fashion content, mostly get ready with me's. However, she first went viral in November of 2022. This post depicted her wearing moon boots whilst pairing it with a bikini set on the beach. And let's say it went flicking viral! Audiences started to notice a specific style she was cultivating, but ALIYAH finally gave it a name, which was ALIYAH. However, with this success, she encountered lots of controversy. When it wasn't the case, she stated at least multiple times that her style was inspired by rave and Harajuku fashion. And that is a fact. A fact that is corroborated by multiple sources at that. Yet the people who came for her style just didn't care about the facts. They just wanted to hate. What was surprising to me was her venturing into music, because in my opinion, I thought she was going to stay in the realm of fashion. However, I was gobsmacked to find out that she made the song It Girl, which went viral on TikTok. As I'll admit, it isn't the best songs in terms of lyrical content, but in terms of production and furthering her image and aesthetic, she does exceptionally well. And turns out, ALIYAH was formerly trained in music and became very comfortable in the studio, mostly experimenting. Her music taste was heavily inspired by the use of the platform YouTube, and honestly, same. She was addicted to mixes and mashups between different artists, but mainly artists like Azealia Banks and Nicki Minaj, according to the Lady Gun interview. Personally, I hear more Azealia Banks influences in her music in terms of production, but that's just me though. I briefly talked about ALIYAH in my last sections, but I'm going to expound on it more. ALIYAH is an alternative style inspired by Harajuku, rave, and Y2K fashion. According to ALIYAH, the essentials to make an ALIYAH outfit are fishnets, belts, fur boots, belts of any quantity, earmuffs, and of course, a crap ton of confidence. There isn't any specific color scheme that ALIYAH falls under, but I've seen it mostly comprised of bright colors. However, an ALIYAH outfit could still be a completely dark color palette, yet it will still be considered ALIYAH. So it's a flexible style in terms of its colors. What do I think of the style? To me, it's very reminiscent of Monster High, like the fishnets and the silhouette, and sometimes the campiness of the outfits, and not to mention the bright colors. It's also maximalist but coordinated, and usually I sometimes don't like it, but because it's so organized yet disorganized, if that makes sense. However, the number one reason as to why I love ALIYAH is because it's something that ALIYAH herself says about the style and its purpose. Quote, ALIYAH is a lifestyle and a fashion trend that allows you to wear whatever you want and not care about being perceived. It's about loving yourself authentically, no matter who's watching. Honestly, I love this message because black women and girls are basically forced to adhere to a stereotype to keep our black cards, which leaves us little room to express ourselves authentically. Yet this style might be a gateway for other Uniqas to eventually find themselves and express their blackness in their own way. And I personally like that. Anyways, that concludes this episode of Uniqa of the Week. So subscribe and keep that Uniqa magic alive. Bye!